Yo, Alex, what the fuck happened at McDonald's?
We tell them, Luca.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So basically,
Like
we're ordering all this food. The lady's looking at us because we're the only people ordering. She keeps calling our number, and we're just there like looking at her, like continuing to order. So then we finally finish ordering all this extravaganza of food, and then we go to the cash to pick up the food. This random man comes up,
cuts
he's
us
like,
off.
Madame! He has his coffee in his hand. He's like, j'ai commandé extra crème. Mais ça coûte pas extra crème. So I look at
I'm loving it.
So then I look at Luca and I'm fucking wheezing, and this guy like just the lady looks at us and we take the food. As soon as we open the door, we're like dying of laughter. Like that was a good one.
That was honestly, that was good.
McDonald's workers once at midnight when 15 people show up. Welcome to Shade Cinema Podcast. I'm Chris, and these are my lovely guests. You probably know all of them. I'm sure you've all seen all of the episodes.
Definitely.
Give me what I want!
So, reintroduce yourselves, guys.
My name is Luca.
I'm Alex, also known as Kit Kat.
I'm Aaron.
Long dick style, long straw style.
I love how you guys just
So
stole
basically,
straws from
Another story: I did not steal 25 straws from McDonald's.
Allegedly.
Definitely not.
Allegedly. I need call my lawyer.
So, for those who don't know, there is, in fact, a McDonald's movie. It's not about a day in the life of a McDonald's worker. That would be
no
way
fucking
too.
way.
That would be way too interesting.
That would be my
Instead-
life, basically.
Instead, it's the movie about Ray Kroc, who is the guy who founded McDonald's.
Hence why it's called The Founder.
Yeah. So, the first thing I have to ask you guys is thoughts on the movie. This is a common routine at this point.
I mean, listen, it's actually a good movie. I'm not gonna downsize it. It's a great movie, and I think obviously there was different ways they could have gone by it, and I think they chose a decent way. Like instead of being like historical and like kind of a documentary, like they kind of made it more into a movie and made it a bit more dramatic, which was fun. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts.
Okay. So my thoughts on the movie. I do agree with Luca. Like it wasn't like your typical documentary style movie. It was more like very like drama movie. So like you know, like Michael Keaton, like main performer, like he's talking to you, like to the viewer. You know, I'm Batman. I'm also the founder. But like I like that aspect that it was like very like it was like your typical like like your typical movie where like you go through a character like progression and stuff, but at the same time it was telling the story of McDonald's. And what I like most about it was like what shook me is like I didn't really know the whole story of McDonald's, and like seeing it in like a big like Hollywood movie, like it was very interesting, like how they portrayed it, and like you learned a lot about McDonald's and the whole history.
It's
which
something
was very interesting.
As a kid, we went there very often, and obviously we don't know much about McDonald's. And
you don't
knowing
know.
how it started or the history behind it is cool.
And like plot twist or like spoiler alert, but like I didn't really expect like all that stuff that like he does, that we will dive in
Yeah, for sure.
later.
And Alex, I think you have a very interesting point of view because you actually worked at a McDonald's for how long?
I worked at McDonald's for 3 years, so I did a year and a half in kitchen. So I learned like how to grill, all that, like freezer, brower, all that stuff. And not only that, I then moved to customer service. So like I did cash for a year. Like actually, I did cash for like 3-4 months, and then I became so good. For like the last 2 years, I basically did drive-through, which was like very intense. Let's be honest. But yeah.
Okay, we'll dive into your experiences later on. I have a bunch of questions to ask you. And Auden, what about you?
Yeah. I mean, same as what Luca and Alex said, honestly. It's not a very exciting movie. It's not action-packed or anything. It's really just how McDonald's came to be, and how it was... What
How
was
it
his
was
first name?
founded, bro.
Ray Kroc?
Ray Kroc was the
Basically,
guy.
Ray Kroc's like history and how he got involved and turned McDonald's into what it is today. It's super interesting. The first time I watched it, I thought...
Sorry. The fuck is this? The fuck is this McDonald's?
It's the best part of
Foreskin.
the fucking chicken nugget, dude. But Yeah, first time I watched it, I actually really enjoyed it, and especially the ending. It was kind of a shocker. I did not expect what I expect.
That's what I'm
what
saying,
happened.
man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't expect
It was
either.
like I rewatched it yesterday. It was just to get like a little reminder, and I enjoyed every second of it. To be honest, like it's a well put together movie.
And I especially love the intro. Like it's like really not unexpected.
No, yeah, it's,
Yeah,
Like,
like how
he's
it
trying to
started.
sell the milkshake product. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
But
That's really cool.
I have something to add about that actually. Eventually,
Which is
no. Like
Uh,
once we start talking.
okay, sure.
Some stuff I want to say.
okay. I also really like the movie. I recently watched it as well. It's interesting because you see a lot of like business tactics and stuff that goes on with it. And what's very interesting is around that time there weren't really anything like fast food. Like you had like White Castle around that time as well.
They called it fast food, but it wasn't fast food.
Yeah. Like there was like the drive-ins, and you see that in the movie, right? Like they
Yeah.
bring it to your car, and then you eat it in your car, which sounds cool, right, to us. But
Yeah.
what was the problem? That you saw a lot of problems, like they get your orders wrong, or the timing is too long, or whatever. And then so like Ray Kroc kind of went through all that. You see that, like he goes through all like the problems of
Yeah.
like dine-in and drive-in.
I mean,
It takes too
excuse me.
long.
the cool.
It takes too long.
yeah.
It takes too long for them to get orders and stuff. So when he goes to McDonald's, like a completely different thing. When you're talking about the speedy system, and Alex, you actually, since you worked at McDonald's, can you talk about the speedy system?
So basically, technically, I think the rule is in 90 seconds that sandwich has to be done and sent out. Okay, but like clearly because of COVID and all that,
From
like
the time that it was ordered, though.
as soon as it's ordered, you have 90
as-
seconds to
okay.
make a sandwich, and that's like a golden rule. But like clearly, like it's never respected because like because of COVID and everything, like we're understaffed. Like there's nobody working anymore. Like there's so many people eating McDonald's because like every restaurant was closed. So a lot of big culture shock changed everything. But technically, as soon as you get the order, as soon as the order is placed, it pops up on your screen in the kitchen. So then the first thing you do is toast your buns. Well, technically, you should always have like a stack of buns toasted like on a regular. So if it's like a regular hamburger patty breads, quarter pounder breads, Angus breads, so you toast the bread in the first 10 seconds. As soon as the bread is toasted, like 5-6 seconds, like first thing you do is like you put the ketchup, the mustard, you spread the onions, you spread the pickles, and then you pass it down, and then the person is supposed to put the meat patties that is already prepared in a tray. And then once you put the patties, you flip the burger and you wrap it, and that only is supposed to take roughly to 60 to 90 seconds. But at the same time, forget about how long it takes to make the sandwich. Every timer of the grill, there's like a set timer. So I think I remember is the smallest patties, so the hamburger patties, the McDouble patties, that's like called a 1/4 patty. Actually, no. Yeah. A 1/3 patty, the small patties, that would take 15. Like you would press the button and the clamps would close on the grill. It would take roughly, I'm gonna say 30 seconds, and then the quarter pound patty was like 100 and it was like a minute, so like 60, yeah, like a minute, so like 60 seconds. And I think the Angus patty was like 90 seconds, but you had to flip it at some point.
So wait,
to cook both
wait.
sides.
You
Well,
don't-
it was 30 seconds that thing would open, you would flip, and then it would close back. So it was like a time. Everything was timed.
So you never had to actually flip like these burgers?
No, you had to. I forgot to say it. Like you put it on the grill. So you take your blue gloves, you open the freezer, place like a set of 2, 4, 6, 8. So 12, like 2 rows. So 8 patties, 16
pre-cooked
patties.
patties, right?
No, they're not. They're frozen.
Yeah,
but then
but-
you have
But
to.
they're
But
You grill it on the grill, but it's just
But-
like a block of. Yeah,
is
there
it
are.
defrosted before?
It's no, because it's in the freezer.
that's crazy.
So freezer. Exactly. And then you would have the quarter pounder, which was like let's say 120 seconds, and then the Angus was like probably like 280 seconds, and then you would have to flip both. And once it would cook, you would fill them up in the trays, and that's why everything should be ready. But like people will forget to put or rushes and all that. But
Just to say, like, making a meal in a minute is ridiculous. Like I
but 90
cook-
seconds, but it works. Like, 'cause
Like-
you could literally do it in 60
I
seconds.
know, but it's crazy. Like I'm someone who cooks regularly, and I love to cook, and I know how much time and effort comes from like even just cooking. Let's say a hamburger. Like I decided I wanted a hamburger tonight. Like it's like at least an hour of work. So the fact that you can get a burger
Yeah.
in less than 2 minutes is ridiculous. Like, it's crazy.
But
Yeah,
that was
like-
the golden rule. Any sandwich supposed to take you 90 seconds.
No, but it tells you about like the ingredients that they use, right?
Yeah,
like
the
how
fuck.
artificial.
Because look, the bread is already toasted. Like as soon as you get the order,
Yeah.
so already you put the thing on. You put the sauces. You put the mustard, like the onions or the pickles, and then you put the meat like that. You're passing it down. So from right to left. So you put the bun. I sprinkle like the onions, blah blah blah. I pass it to Arin, who puts the patty, flips it, and sends it out. So that only takes 20 seconds, and then they have time to like get the fries, put the bag, put the napkin, put the receipt, and ship it out. So it should technically take 90 seconds.
That's crazy.
Like if
And
all
everything's
things-
timed. Everything's timed.
if all things go well, 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
in the movie though, like the system was 30 seconds. I honestly don't know, but
The
they were making
rotation
the
was 60
hamburgers
seconds. It was
for
60
you
seconds.
guys.
No, in the movie I remember when he's
No, but
explaining the
Dick
circle system.
McDonald's, like one of the McDonald's brothers, like he said that the whole thing takes 30 seconds to make the burger. And they would make
Yeah, back then
burgers
because it was
before-
just a burger. You didn't have quarter pound.
Yeah,
All that. So
yeah, yeah.
now the general
Okay.
rule was every sandwich has the same time. It
Okay,
should
okay.
be able to take.
Yeah, because I remember in the movie, the whole point was, like, I remember there was fast food, like it existed, but it wasn't McDonald's, like
Right.
fast. And I remember that the problem was there was too many items. And so what the McDonald's brothers did is they cut the items and they made it
Milkshake,
shakes,
fries,
Yeah.
hamburger.
Right.
And that's why they were
Yeah.
able to do the 30-second.
Yeah. Because before they had a more extensive menu.
Exactly, and it
right?
didn't
so
work.
Then they made like 87% of their profit was only on the burgers,
just
fries.
just
and
burgers, fries, and shakes or sodas.
I think it was like sodas and stuff, but they included shakes as well.
Eventually, yeah. But like,
Yeah.
until the milkshake machine was created for
Well-
McDonald's because it wasn't.
By-
before.
well, they got
Yeah.
they got the milkshake machine eventually by Ray
The
Kroc.
founder, yeah.
So what's interesting also is that if you look at like McDonald's and like most of their profits, just not even just McDonald's, but like every fast food chain in general, their number one thing that makes money is sodas, because
Yeah.
they pay very little money to get the sodas, and then it costs like 10, 20, 100
stack.
times more.
a stack of these, which is like I think a bag of like 30 cups. It's like 90, like it's like 15 cents a stack, and a box would have like 25 stacks of.
And how much is a cup?
Like I'm saying, like a stack, like a bag, like they're piled on top of 30 of these.
Oh,
In one box.
I mean like yeah, so a pack of these
Like with the drink
stack
in it.
It's
It's
like costing
15
15 cents.
15 cents, but what about the drink? Like the syrup?
The syrup, because it's like these little bags that you basically branch in a tube, like a generator. Like
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so you would have like
Yeah,
different
yeah,
bags,
yeah,
like
yeah.
7-Up, Fruitopia, all that shit, and it's like 3 or 5 liters of like liquid. Yeah, so I don't know how much those cost, but yeah.
Okay.
And plus they dilute it as well with water. Like,
Yeah.
especially when
No.
you put,
Well,
or just
soda, carbonated water, no?
or
well, because when you plug in, it's like these little tubes
yeah.
that go all the way through inside the wiring, all the way to the front
Yeah, so
with the
water.
dispenser.
Yeah.
Well,
So they would have water and
Because you know, like when like let's say you're getting Coke,
you
it's
see
like
it
Coke,
go.
water, Coke,
Yeah.
Coke, yeah, yeah.
You ever
Well,
seen that TikTok where the guy goes like, and he goes and he's like, just got the Coke.
Like he holds the
Yeah.
and what was interesting also is that the McDonald's brothers are were very focused on having values and doing the right thing when it comes to business, and they always wanted like a great deal of control over their chains and whatnot. But Ray Kroc was completely different. Once he got into the picture and once he became like head of franchising, he began like getting into conflict with the McDonald brothers, because he wanted to, like, let's say include like powdered milkshake instead of actually
Yeah, I
like
remember
ice
that.
cream, because the ice cream costed a lot of money to maintain, because the fridges costed a lot of electricity to maintain. So instead of maintaining it through the fridges, what he would have doing is like they would have powdered milkshake to water, and then it, like over time you just taste like milkshake.
Yeah.
But then, they were like, no, we need to have ice cream because it's like the principle and all that. And what was what's interesting to me is that a lot of the movie is like about commercialism versus like business integrity.
Yeah.
And even like at some point they make this very clear when you see Ray's like building up his first chain, like his first franchise over wherever he lived in, like in Illinois, and he wanted to get a sponsorship from Coca-Cola, but they were like, no, we don't want to sponsor you, Coca-Cola, said the McDonald's brothers, because we're not for that type of commercialism or whatever. And then Ray Kroc's response was, it's free money. It's a sponsorship, right?
Yeah.
So the question is like, what's better? Is it better to be commercial in that sense, or to have like the integrity and not be sponsored? Like, which one's better? Like, not just like in terms of business, but also in terms of like personal and whatnot.
I mean, it depends on what your values are. Like, obviously, the McDonald's brothers' values were to give the best service, the best food in the fastest amount of time. Where, like in the movie, like the founder, his goal was, he was not in the restaurant business. He was in the real estate business, right? And so he didn't give a flying fuck if it came out half lopsided or undercooked. He just wanted it out, you know. He just wanted the fastest amount and the most amount of money in. So it was all about money instead of customer service.
I don't think that was true though.
I think
He
it changed.
prioritized. He thought that customer service was the most important thing, and that's what's gonna bring him like all that income, right? So if he prioritizes that, then he's gonna bring in the money. So you could say that the money was his priority,
Yeah.
but like money wasn't gonna be an issue unless like you made sure that customer service.
Yeah, I mean, but my point is like the McDonald's brothers was like to all around be the perfect restaurant
Yeah.
experience. You know,
And
like
they never thought of doing multiple chains.
Yeah,
like
like-
from
No,
the
they
beginning.
did. They did. They
but
did.
the best example is like Ray Crawford. His name is Ray Crawford, right?
Ray Kroc.
Ray
Kroc.
Kroc, my bad. Like at the beginning, right, when you see him have the McDonald's for the first time, and he pays, and as he pays, he gets the food, and he's like,
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, he's like shook. He's,
He's
just like
"But what do you
What?
mean? I just paid." He's like, "Yeah, it's your food." He's like, "Okay," and he goes, "Where do I sit?" So it's just like that whole experience is obviously what the McDonald's brothers intended, and when he has his first bite of the burger, he's like melting, you know, like watching everyone else melt at the same time, and that's
Yeah.
what their goal was to really make that.
Wait, Chris, you should put a clip like right now of like the girl like taking the bite
Just like-
in the beginning scenes there.
Yeah,
Like on the thumbnail.
why is Ray Kroc's hamburger so good?
but yeah, so I think like obviously like to have a good business, you have to have good customer service, and the product you have to be selling is good as well. But his care was not about that at all. Like,
Eventually, that's what it became. Because like he was pretty appalled when he saw some of his other business venture guys. They were selling like
Different stuff. I remember that.
they were selling different stuff, and it wasn't well
And
cooked
he-
and all that.
He had set a specific menu, and then some McDonald's you saw started selling like tacos, like pizzas, and it was all going to shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he like started closing them, and he's like, no, like this is why McDonald's, like when I worked there, like every it doesn't matter if it's a franchise or it's like commercial like the actual McDonald's owning it or like somebody opening his own franchise. You have strict laws and rules that you have to follow, like no matter what.
Well, that was his mistake from the start, though, right? Because he was
was
inviting
letting-
his golf club friends to like open up these chains who were already like, I don't want to say
Super rich.
millionaires, but they were already like pretty.
they were
rich and stuff.
millionaires. They were rich.
They were rich, but they didn't give a shit. Most of them were retired at that point too, so they were just doing whatever they thought.
And there was
worked.
no management, so like
Yeah,
the
yeah, they just
McDonald's, the
didn't give a shit.
value of McDonald's as a whole, like is like like not every McDonald's is good, and he wanted a perfect line
It's the
image of like
yeah.
the McDonald's.
That's why, like you see in the movie, he finds that families or owners that were more poor or more
Family oriented,
Low-
were generally
family
like
oriented.
look, if you look at like through that montage, it's just always couples.
yeah,
It's always new.
but it was
newlywed
also
couples.
lower class people.
Yeah.
And so what he did is he gave them the opportunity. He called it. It was very smart.
Yeah.
He gave them the opportunity to own like a McDonald's,
Yeah.
and because they were obviously quite poor,
Yeah.
or like in middle class, say they took that opportunity to heart, and they really
Yeah.
proved, you know.
But it's
like-
not just that though, right? Because like for him, the idea of family was extremely important, and you saw
Yeah.
that in the speech too. He was talking about like when you say McDonald's, it says like we are fam. I can't remember what the line was.
I
But
think
basically associated McDonald's with family.
yeah,
So it's like that teamwork, right? That chemistry was really important for him when it came to running the
Mm-hmm.
branch, because that was his mistake when he invited his friends to do it. There
'Cause
was
they
no
didn't
chemistry.
care.
People didn't give a fuck.
yeah. And then when
Those-
with those
exactly.
those like Chris says, the families, right? They were so
Yeah.
thankful that they ran it like they would run their own house, like in the, like clean as their house, and it was it was just
All
well
the machines
run.
were clean. Like
Yeah.
they weren't just selling like
They were
there's
grateful to be
like when
there.
you work in a fast like forget about working at McDonald's. Any restaurant you work, you'll see like there's a lot of stuff that goes to waste. A lot of stuff isn't like 100% cleaned.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I
all
know
that
that.
stuff.
You need to make sure that there's people behind it, making sure that everything's clean and stuff.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They were taking more heart and more care, like Luca said,
Yep.
and I totally agree with that.
And sorry, Chris, I don't know if like this is something that's gonna come up later, but I think this is also like an important connection that they made in the story with his wife.
What do you mean?
So a big issue that like that was something that I noticed watching it a second time. So that was the main issue that he had with his wife. So I remember
Yeah.
when he first hired that couple, the first, like the Jew who was trying to like sell like the Bible
Yeah.
Yeah.
remember in his office. So he was like the first time that he saw them actually work, he's like, oh, the chemistry was like they're a team, when they're working together. He comes home and he's on the bed and he's talking to his wife and he's like talking to her like, yeah, it was so cool watching them work. Like they have good chemistry, they work as a team, and you see that that's absent between them.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get there in a bit,
Okay,
like
so
later.
we'll talk about it.
But I wanted to ask you guys personally, like, what would you consider better for you if you ran something like a McDonald's, or not necessarily McDonald's, but like your own restaurant? Would you focus more on commercialism, or would you focus more on business integrity?
Honestly, like, what do you mean by commercialism?
Like you would you have sponsors? Would you like kind of like
yeah, obviously.
in a way, like would you sometimes take not just have sponsors, but also take like shortcuts in certain things, like in certain
would-
aspects of your food?
I would try to stay as like
You try to have as much integrity as possible.
I would try to have as much integrity as possible. But I know on the long run, like if like it's so like business like heavy, like our culture, there's so many businesses, there's so many restaurants, there's so many everything that like you would have no choice but like to like bend down a bit and let some stuff slide, or else like you will never be that successful unless you just like you keep your integrity, but like you're not making millions and you're not super poor, but like you're just breaking off even. So it's like if you want
Yeah.
to succeed and get to that global reach, like you definitely have to like, there's gonna be some points where like you have no like, because there's so much you can do, there's so much control you can have over other franchises, other managers. Like you can't make sure that every worker is gonna do their job properly. There's always gonna be people who don't care, people who steal food, you're gonna lose
People who
stuff.
slack off.
People who order and like adds my wrong order, so that goes to waste. Like you can't control every single
Yeah.
molecule or
I mean,
every single decision. You know?
And there's also like we're talking about sponsors as well. Like when you work with a sponsor, you lose a lot of your say, because obviously they're sponsoring your product.
So they have a sort of a say in what your product.
100%, because they have a say because they're working with you. They have a say in what they want as well, and so you lose that freedom of your own company as well a bit.
Well, yeah, like look at it this way, right? McDonald's is now partnered with Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
so that means they can only sell products that are based on Coca-Cola companies in terms of their beverages.
Mm-hmm. So only
Like,
Sprite.
like McDonald's can't sell Pepsi,
No.
at least not in the West. At least from where I've been.
No, they can't.
around the
They
world.
can't because it's
Can't
Coca-Cola, and they don't have 7-Up. It's Sprite.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's owned by
Yeah.
Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Like they just have like alternatives for each, right?
And
So
fucking Dasani.
yeah, which is also owned by Coca-Cola.
Sorry, that shit's fucking ass.
It's probably the worst water, honestly. But
you drink it and you become more thirsty.
yeah, I mean, if I had to choose, my dad owned the restaurant for almost 10 years, and I think that, instead of being franchised and just having your own, like, how do you say it? But I'm losing words. Being your own, having your own say in your own restaurant. And,
Okay. So like being independent.
independent, yeah. Like I don't know if I would franchise my restaurant, to be honest.
So you wouldn't franchise it like let's say your restaurant's like really really popular, bussing in the area, bumping up.
You know what? I do. I honestly, and I've seen this, especially today, when you have one spot and there's only one place you can get that thing, people go, fucking crazy for it, and they goes and people wait
But
in
now-
line for hours. I
It
know,
wasn't like that back then.
I know,
so,
but I'm saying obviously we're talking about now.
but
Like
in the 1930s, 1940s, there's no way. Like,
Yeah,
you would
definitely.
open as much as
So-
possible.
so-
Every state.
yeah, definitely.
But I do agree now.
But like nowadays, like
Individualism is like
100%.
better.
the best example is like we have over here. There was a restaurant called Olivia's Chicken. I don't know if you guys ever had it.
I've heard of it.
It's a fried chicken place, and they had one spot, and it was downtown, and people fucking lost their shit.
Well, like Krispy Kreme, right? Like the one like past Lachine.
yeah, people waited hours. To get
Longueuil.
Krispy Kreme.
People would drive all the way to Longueuil,
Yeah.
like 2 hours on gas just to take that picture of the Krispy Kreme because that was the only location.
and now let's I'm going back to the Olivia's. Like they opened up, I think like 20, 30 stores around Montreal. And like I went back because I had gone originally when the first one opened, and it was amazing. And I went back, and there was one in the Fairview Mall. It was horrible. Like I genuinely I actually didn't finish this sandwich because
How long did it take to expand? Like for them to go from one store to 30?
like within a year or two.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they did really well, and that's not my point. Like they did so well off that first restaurant that they franchised because they're like, oh my god, people want it so much, which worked at the beginning, but when their quality fucked up,
Right, so that's what mattered, right?
Yeah.
In
Quality
the
drops.
film
The
was
more you
those standards.
Yeah.
the more chains you open, the harder it is to keep like
quality,
the
definitely.
quality of like your patties and like because then like you're not just getting it one place, so then you could narrow down like what's good, what's bad. Everybody's getting it, and everybody's not doing the same amount of work as one franchise.
Yeah, like if I have a store in St. Leo, okay, I had a chicken shop, and I got my chicken from the butcher across the street, and I got that chicken and I made my sandwiches with that chicken. But now I open a store in the West Island, like obviously I can't use his chicken, like he doesn't have enough to franchise both
So like
stores. So now I have to find another source to get that chicken, but it's not the same, So it's like
there's a difference in
there's
quality.
a difference in quality, and it's good. It happens, and
Unless you're McDonald's.
unless you're McDonald's.
Then McDonald's basically deals with every single franchise. Like you have no choice but to buy from
Yeah,
McDonald's
not-
Brower.
Not
Brower. That's
Brower?
like the company that basically delivers all the goods. So like your breads, your meats,
your bro.
your bakery stuff. So like your cookies, your pastries. What else? Like your lettuce bags, your tomatoes.
Wait, Alex, I wanted to
Oh,
ask
by the
you a
way, the
question, actually.
tomatoes. I wanted to say this. The tomatoes are actually fresh and like tomatoes that you would like wash, and like you would like put this in this powder, so it like it removes all
longer?
all like the pesticide and stuff. But like they're all fresh tomatoes. They're not like sealed in bags.
No
They're
way.
like
Oh, okay,
picked
okay.
tomatoes.
That's
But I think that it's only the tomatoes. Everything else is sealed. So the cucumbers, they're sealed in like a tight like seal.
What about the eggs?
The eggs.
Eggs, I don't think that exists in McDonald's.
You're
eggs don't
actually
exist.
absolutely right. We create it out of thin fabric. We spit on the grill until it forms a white.
You know
circle.
why the ice cream machine always breaks? It's because they're making the eggs.
We'll get to the ice cream machines later, but we should get back to the topic at hand. So, Auden, what would you say when it comes to business versus commercialism?
Oh, okay.
Business integrity versus commercialism.
I'm not like.
Auden
I'm
is an
no-
architect,
no
and I do
expertise.
not see him being a businessman. So
I
hence,
honestly couldn't
this
give you an
question
answer
is
just because-
irrelevant.
Like obviously, obviously, I think the priority is to like make a name for yourself, like Lucas said. It's I wouldn't want to have like a ton of sponsors, kind of like next to my name to like give me that extra revenue, and I feel like it kind of like
And
ruins it.
controlling
The
like
best-
what you could sell or what
Yeah,
you
exactly.
could say. Because the more sponsors you have, they set strict rules, so you can't like you have a bit less freedom to decide what you want to do. Because like you're in contracts, it's all contracts, it's all signed papers.
Yeah, and I believe that food is an art as well, and so that like what you make is some sort of art, and when you have people behind you saying, oh well, you can't make it like that, and then obviously it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
It's like being an architect. Like if you're building a building or drawing a building, sorry, and you have a sponsor or someone, let's say, who helps the funding or whatever, and then they come look at your drawing and like, no, I don't like it like
I
that.
mean,
Redraw it.
that's a thing, though.
It is a thing,
Yeah.
and
It sucks.
It
Yeah,
does
yeah,
because it
you're
takes
right.
away from your vision, and
Right.
you're an architect. You have that vision. That's why you have that position, right?
Yeah. But another example I had in mind was like, for example, with sports clubs. So if you look at like amateur sports, like if you look at your intercity like teams when it comes to hockey, basketball, soccer, whatever you're watching, like you'll notice there's always like a lot of sponsors on their jerseys and stuff. That's normally to like reduce costs because parents don't want to pay as much, whatever. But then when you look at like professionals play, if you look at like the big teams, right, there's always like you would only see like maybe one or two sponsors like on their shoulders and stuff, but very minimal. And like they always like their brand is always very popping, right? Because that's what they want to show as much to like the audience, to the people watching. And like I feel like it just looks better too, you know? Because if you just have a bunch of sponsors like slapped on you, it's like you're just like a walking billboard. It's not.
Well, who was it that had the Fly Emirates on their jersey? Was it Messi?
It was.
No, but dude, there's like tons of teams, right? Like Fly Emirates, or like another one is like Qatar Airways, right? That like
Just
pops
I know
on the
about
line.
the Canadians this year is RBC. They have it on the.
What does
their
What does
chest.
Ronaldo wear?
Dude, like it depends on like. Okay, I didn't expect that.
Muchas gracias, afición.
No, but yeah. No, I have a lot of experience with business, so I couldn't give you like a proper answer. I bet
Okay.
you like I think professors from Concordia would go fucking ballistics on like
Fucking
shit. that
bro,
was
ripping
He would
hair
just
out there.
reread the PowerPoints on the fucking board.
Okay, so what was interesting also is that the McDonald's brothers saw Ray Kroc advancing a lot and trying to implement a lot of changes.
And they didn't like the change.
They didn't like the changes that he was implementing, but ultimately those changes is what got them under the water and had their company bought from under them. And would you say that the McDonald's brothers were too prideful in their business?
I definitely think they were too prideful. Because if not, they would have maybe like gave Ray Kroc more freedom, and maybe like like they wouldn't got like spoiler like fucked over near the end.
Yeah.
They would have like built a good relationship, and they would have gone really far, and they wouldn't just be like, yo, what the hell's happening, and they had no clue.
Yeah, definitely.
It was definitely their downfall. I totally think so.
Yeah.
I think they knew they were sitting on a gold mine from the start. They knew that it worked. They
just didn't have it in them to like proceed then
Yeah.
building the more than
Well,
they were so stuck on what they had built them like between each other,
The
like between
brothers.
the brothers, that they didn't want anyone else in like changing what they built.
So you think that if they let Ray Kroc in, it wouldn't have been the vision exactly of what they wanted McDonald's to be?
It wouldn't have been McDonald's.
It would have
They're
been
McDonald's.
it would've
that's
been-
that's why the
would
whole
have
time
been
they were
cracks.
Cracks.
Let's go to Croc.
Like
but
McDonald's today is not what the McDonald's brothers envisioned. The
course
60
not, yeah.
second like fast food meal, yeah, but
Did you see that fucking fat ass burger that kid ate?
the what?
Like the
kid?
burger,
Oh,
the
yeah.
burger at the beginning
Yeah, yeah.
when he just goes to the restaurant, and he sits on a bench and there's like
The kid in
bunch
front
of
of him?
kid like there's a bunch of kids like and their mom, disclaimer, sitting next to him,
Big boogity Betty.
and then like she's eating like this burger and it looks like a burger from like an actual proper burger joint. It looks like a B12 burger.
Yeah.
Instead we got this shit. The fuck is this? What is this? Remember when they were selling this shit for like 67 cents? Were you there when they
Bro.
were working that?
bro, when I was working there, no, burgers were
But they like,
were still part of the dollar menu.
Yeah,
So
but
they were $1.
But there was that one day where they were selling this for 67 cents.
Oh yeah,
You remember that?
Yeah.
Were you there?
I actually didn't work that day, and thank God I didn't. I think they made like 1,000 burgers in like an hour.
Like
What
that one
the
store?
That Normandy, I remember they
No
calculated
way.
how much they sold hamburgers that day, and it was nuts.
Fuck,
It was
dude,
like in the
that's
thousands.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Bro, what the fuck?
Because I think people were
1,000?
just ordering like I think they had to like there was no limit.
They placed the limit. When I went in, they placed the limit
Yeah,
to
'cause
three
yeah,
per order.
yeah, because people were just coming and like ordering like 50, 60
Well, yeah,
cents
it's 68
burgers.
cents. I could order fucking 50 burgers.
Yeah, but then every client you see on the screen, every order is 50 burgers. Like you can't do that many patties.
You want to laugh though? Once this is like 2 years ago. I was fucking hungry, and I don't know why. I walked into the store and I ordered $50 burgers.
Wait, like $50 worth of burgers.
No, like the dollar burgers. So these
Oh,
when they were a
$50.
dollar.
They were
I
dollar.
ordered-
They were back.
They were $1
This
back
and
in
the
the
junior
day.
were dollar burgers.
By myself ordered 50 of them. Okay, and the girl looked at me like 50. I'm like, yeah, 50. And it was the time the Monopoly was happening, so I go 50 and one drink, right? So she's like looking at me like I'm a fucking retard. I go, I
Une
peel.
crème.
It costed me like $65, you know, and I'm like, fuck, yo, that low-key was expensive. I peeled the McDonald's Monopoly, win $100. I'm like, no fucking shot.
That's actually so funny.
I was so happy. I ate every single I ate all 50 hamburgers.
Oh my god, bro! You probably had some
Massive diarrhea.
the next day.
Stop it.
You know,
Get some help.
Very, very large brain.
Dude, do you remember
A
the
brain.
Michael Jordan meme? The
Stop it.
McDonald's
it.
commercial.
get some
Get
help.
some help.
The question was, were the McDonald's bros too proud, too prideful of their own business?
Oh, definitely. They're way. That's what they. That's what.
That's what killed. That's what you say. You say that that's what killed their business.
Yes.
Do you think if they stayed, they kept McDonald's the way it was, it would have possibly like still thrived until today, or do you think it would
No,
have?
they would have been relevant, and then every other big fast food like company that went global would have like why it would have been very like oh, you remember McDonald's in like Illinois? It's like, yeah, I
think
remember that.
No,
it wouldn't be the size it is today, but it would still be pretty big.
Like as an
I
independent. No, I
wouldn't
don't
say.
think so.
I wouldn't say
don't
as.
think so.
I wouldn't say as independent, but I would say like.
Well,
I don't think it would have been irrelevant because I think it would
Not
still
that
would
it-
have been still would have been unique.
not irrelevant, but like he made it like global, like the whole world knows
I
about
don't-
McDonald's.
yeah.
It would have never reached.
I don't know,
that.
but I don't know if I
No,
don't
but
know,
they didn't want. They wanted to be very.
Yeah, but they were franchising either way. Like
Like
at the
what,
beginning of the
one,
movie,
two,
they said that
three
they
stores?
wanted to
They said
franchise.
They said they wanted to. They tried and it didn't work.
Yeah,
they
so they
opened
weren't.
5 chains, including theirs.
Yeah.
The 4 other ones were a complete flop.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So they gave
Except
up
the
on
one
it. They
in
said they were
Phoenix.
just gonna So they were just gonna keep that.
So
one.
they would have kept
Not
one
Phoenix.
store.
the,
How-
the one in Phoenix was the one with the golden arches.
Yeah.
So
okay,
how
you're
how
right, you're
how,
right.
They-
how would have how would have one store lasted for 100
You know,
years?
you know,
Impossible.
well, you know how because the system, the only reason why every other fast food restaurant exists is because of McDonald's.
I totally agree, but if McDonald's never came to be
So-
that
Yeah.
global McDonald's, then
Yeah,
not really.
but I'm saying because McDonald's influenced pretty much every other fast food restaurant, it also influenced the fact that every other restaurant pretty much copies the Speedy system to a
Okay,
T.
What makes McDonald's? I mean, you saw the ending of the movie. What makes McDonald's so great is the
name McDonald's, right?
Right.
Because it's
There's so many fast food restaurants that tried their same system, but that didn't make it.
just say McDonald's.
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 If you say McDonald's, it just sounds comforting, just automatically, just like that. It just sounds
McDonald's.
comforting. But if you say Burger King, it doesn't. Burger.
I mean, the Aussies, the Australians, they call it McDicks.
No, they don't.
I swear to God, they call it McDicks.
That's so funny.
This is haram.
Hey Stevie,
No,
do you want to
I-
go to McDick's?
I do agree that.
Do you think that McDonald's, like every other fast food restaurant, would exist if McDonald's wasn't
No.
successful?
I
don't think
I
so.
don't think so. Not to the extent of
so
fast,
then,
what fast food is.
so
doing.
then how could you have McDonald's be unsuccessful in a time where like there's no other business like it? There's literally nothing like it. It
Yeah,
just
but if
starts
it
selling
didn't
like crazy.
grow to that global scale, would everybody in the world heard about McDonald's? I don't think so.
No,
That's
I'm
what
saying I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is that like I don't think it would have gone out of business.
But I
no,
think
not out of business, but I don't think it'd be like like honestly,
It would
who
be
knows? Like there's
It'd
so
be
many
one of those like it'd
possibilities.
be one of those like really popular places to go in California. It probably would have lasted a good 50 years
would've been
until,
like-
until some like maybe their kids would have fucked it up because they
Yeah,
they
and
don't
then they
care.
would
or
have lost
But I
whatever.
the
feel
money.
like for a business like that, no matter what, like let's say if we say what happened didn't happen, I feel like another Ray Kroc would have come up.
Of course.
Sure, there's always ambitious people like that.
But like but I'm saying, yeah, ambitious people exist. There's great ideas around the world for like all types of stuff, but like that in particular was
You
so
always
big.
need a business person who like can take an idea and actually develop it into
Yeah.
a multi-billion-dollar
Yeah.
company,
Yeah,
right?
and Ray Kroc did that, you know. But like his point is like, would it? I think it's still the original McDonald's would still be here today. in a sense that like if they never franchise or they never give the power to Kroc,
But who
obviously
knows?
he took it. But I mean, like if he never took it, I think that for 100 years it still would be there. But obviously, maybe one or two stores.
It would have been the Paulou Suzanne of Montreal.
It would have been, yeah. I generally believe.
Basically.
Yeah.
You believe it would have been like Paulo's and Suzanne?
Yeah.
How long has that been around?
The
Almost
19
Yeah.
Like
What?
1930 something.
yeah,
Yeah, it still
1937
looks
or
like it's from the
something.
But Chris,
1930s,
I don't think it's an
like
issue.
the Kerry hot dog.
I don't think it's an issue of pride. I think it's an issue of fear. And if we go back to the podcast where we were talking about like Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yeah.
remember, like sort of the lesson that we learned from was like not to be afraid to repeat your own mistakes. They were afraid to repeat their own mistakes.
They were afraid to open franchise and then it failed a second time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
So
they were
that
like, fuck
fear
that.
didn't drive them enough to like
Yeah.
be like, let's do this again.
And that's
Yeah.
why, yeah, exactly.
I agree with Chris. I think that if they didn't franchise, I think the way the way fast food is around the world today wouldn't have been the same.
I don't think they probably would have been as much. Well, they probably would have been fast food,
Yeah, but
but
not
just
to the
not,
extent.
but not to the extent of McDonald's. Because McDonald's,
Revolutionary.
what made McDonald's unique and what made like kind of like the alarm bells go in Ray Kroc's head is the fact that it was so fast. That's
Yeah.
it was literally the fastest way to get food. It was you go up to the window, you order your food, 30 seconds later you're eating it.
Yeah,
Like there was nothing like that.
that's the thing.
Beforehand, the only alternatives you had were diners or like those like drive-in diners that like
the rollerblades.
like with the rollerblades, and it would take like 20 minutes to get your food. Like,
Wrong
is that
order.
really fast food, or is that just like
Well,
it's like a restaurant but in your car?
before
you know?
McDonald's,
Like, it's
that
whack.
was fast food. Like
Yeah.
that was what they used to
Yeah,
call
absolutely.
fast food.
But no, I definitely get that they did revolutionize everything.
Absolutely.
Like if it wasn't for that speedy system, like forget it, bro.
But I
we wouldn't
think-
be here today
but I think
having
at the
all
same
these.
I don't even think
time-
burgers would be as big as before.
Probably not.
But I think another thing that they revolutionized was also the type of people that they would bring to that kind of institution.
What do you
Because
Like families that
That
would
was
normally
another-
eat at restaurants.
that was another big thing.
What do you mean by
that Ray Kroc, that was another big thing that Ray Kroc mentioned since the start of the movie was that one thing that went wrong with, what do you call it again? Like
The speedy
these restaurant,
system.
no, the restaurants with like
the dine-ins.
The
the
diners.
diners, right?
Drive-in diners.
So the
yeah.
dine-ins, the big issue with that is that you would get like these groups of teenagers that nobody would want to be around because like it's very like intimidating and they're very sloppy and it's like it's not fun.
They're very like noisy
So, like, it's
with the
very-
music
yeah,
in their cars.
Exactly. So the way that you treat your clients also reflects the type of people that come to your institution, and depending on the people that come to your institution, you invite in turn more people if it feels inviting. So that's why for him, family was so important, and you saw how much people that brought all together. So you created a community. So that was another thing that I thought was like brilliant as well. And I was watching a few videos of people like making comments about this as well. Is that he put the arches next to the American flag and the church.
Yeah, the cross.
Right, because for him it wasn't just a place for people to come eat; it's a community.
Yeah. So what was he saying? It was like at one point he was like talking to the people. He was like, McDonald's is family, right? That's why
Yeah.
he emphasized that, because it's all about, of course, it's all about selling, but it's also about becoming kind of an iconic part of your nation, right? So he was saying McDonald's is America, right? So what he wanted is to attach it to the most powerful country in the world, and therefore make it indistinguishable from America. So when you think of America, what do you think of? You think of the American flag, you think of guns, you think of crosses, and you think of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Speaking about fast food.
But like, I remember at the beginning of the movie, like, didn't the McDonald brothers? That's what they wanted, though. No, like
They did, but the problem
They
was is that they
failed.
didn't. They
They did it.
failed. They failed because they were trying to control everything.
Yeah.
So when you try to control everything like that, it's not going to work. Especially back then, bro. Ray Kroc pulled out a fucking paper map to figure out how to get to San Bernardino. Like, they were afraid of, above all else, so that their restaurant's name would lose value over time. So that, and because of like inconsistent menus or whatever.
Pizza.
There was actually a McPizza at one point in time.
in
like-
Montreal. It started.
Yeah, my parents used to get it.
Yeah,
my
it
parents
started
too.
here though. Apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like-
no, back then, because they even said they had some places that there were pizza, and it's like, nah, it didn't work, so you
They
went to
did-
close it down. 'Cause
I
people
think
are
they did a
"We
lot,
want
though.
They
slice of
had
pizza."
they also had McSpaghetti.
Yeah, I
McRib.
remember that. No,
The
that's the
McRib
thing.
was apparently like
They brought it back.
They bring it
It's
back
in the
every once in a
States, I
while in the
think,
States.
no?
But as far as pride, is it pride? Would you say is it pride or fear? Like-
Fear.
Yeah. Fear.
They were scared, man.
In what
like,
sense?
Like, did they not allow Ray Kroc to implement changes because they were too proud of the work that they did, or was it because
I think he was brainwashing
wait,
them.
hold on, or was it because they were afraid of that the changes would outgrow their business?
They were scared of Ray Kroc because they felt that this guy had like a big vision and like, oh, like, you know, he's gonna change everything. Like, we want it to still be like very like the roots.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I think
change.
they did try to franchise. Like Adam was saying, like they tried to franchise. It didn't work, so they were somewhat scared that this guy was like, "Oh, I can do it. Like, don't worry about
What
it."
was another reason that it didn't work though? And what happened after it didn't work the first time?
It was the quality control and all that.
Yeah.
Not just that. I'm saying between the McDonald's brothers.
In what sense?
Oh, he had a nervous breakdown, didn't
Exactly. So his
he? Or like he had a heart attack.
it was
Yeah, like because he had diabetes, so
Yeah.
he had a not a heart attack, but he had like he fainted. I guess he just had like a breakdown.
well, yeah, it was his
Yeah.
liver.
Yeah, his liver.
It was his liver that was like
Yeah, he said like they
borderline.
said by the end of the movie they were saying that he had like about 50% functionality in his liver, which is funny because he probably eats McDonald's all fucking day.
I'm
McDonald's.
sure.
I'm loving it.
No, but I'm
I'm
sure,
loving it.
I'm sure he was careful with that too, though. But my point is because that kind of led to that, right? So they were afraid of something like that repeating, especially. So I think that's what held them back. So it's for me personally, it's pretty obvious that it was fear. But I think that was also a major factor because if that wasn't like one aspect that wouldn't have been affected, I'm sure they would have been more tempted to lean towards what Ray Kroc was doing for sure. And I also think that the reason why Ray Kroc turned on them so badly near the end was because of how resistant they were towards his ideas.
That's
Not his
true.
ideas.
From the
I
start,
agree, I
Not his
agree.
ideas,
yeah.
but how he
From
wanted
the beginning,
to spread.
every time he would say like, no.
Remember how he would always
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the person who would always hang up the phone, it was the other person on the opposite side of the line that had control. So notice at the start, it was always Ray Kroc that would hang up the phone because he was always pissed. And it came to the point that it was the McDonald's brothers hanging up on him because they couldn't deal with his shit anymore.
Yeah,
And the more that happened, the more they lost control until Ray Kroc fully took control.
I have a question.
Christ.
I have a question for you. What do you so imagine? Okay, they tried to franchise, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Imagine that Ray Kroc came before they tried to franchise. What do you think? Do you think it would have changed?
Wait, what do you mean?
So like, obviously they tried to franchise,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
didn't work, so
They
they
didn't
got
franchise
scared,
alone,
right?
like he-
Right.
So
okay, like before
it's
that happened.
Before they tried
If
to
they would have
franchise,
been willing.
if he brought it up to them before they had tried to franchise, you think they would have been more giving to it, or
For
do you
sure.
think
I,
they would've-
I definitely think they would be more
Bro,
giving to it.
if they opened 4 other places, no shit. it
but
would
they
change.
tried to do that.
but
it
I'm
didn't
not
work.
sure. Like,
No,
I'm-
he's saying
Yeah.
it is like if they didn't try to franchise beforehand.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like yes, it would have worked if alone they were able to open 4 other franchises.
Yeah.
Imagine what they could have done with Ray Kroc from
From
the
the start.
beginning when they were open to
yeah,
such.
and, you know, maybe if that would have happened, that would have like the history of McDonald's would have been different.
But I think a
but
better
you also have
question-
to. But you also have to look into. We'll come back to yours. 2 things first. Like the fucking video. We just ate a
like
bunch
the
of
fucking video.
Bro,
we just ate a bunch of
whole
fucking-
box,
Subscribe.
20 nuggets.
So like I said, like the fucking video, cunt.
Like it, subscribe to it, comment it, make love to it,
Like it.
share it to your stepsister.
and I mean, fucker.
like 15 different angles.
Like the video. Like the video. Like the video.
Yo, Auden.
You're a victim. I take the McNugget. I dunk it.
Hmm.
I eat. I pass it.
Be gone, fuck!
Okay, so back to the topic at hand.
Okay.
I got this. This is 180. Anyways,
Oh wait, I wanted to ask a question.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
So I think
Auden.
a better question would be: would Ray Kroc still turn on them before Like they even tried doing the franchise and stuff.
No.
That is to be determined because we don't know what. Like given that situation, we don't know what could have happened, right?
But
so maybe
you
they would have
think-
got really long. Maybe he wouldn't need to have taken the company from.
Let's-
with
no,
him.
but
Would Ray Kroc
Yeah.
would Ray Kroc's takeover have been inevitable? Would you say? Was it
It
inevitable?
depends how opening and forthcoming the McDonald brothers were.
I think because of his personality and because of the person he is.
It would have been
Regardless,
but I think it would have gone down differently. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
like-
I agree.
I think like if we joined both of our questions, if they had never tried to franchise and then they franchised with Ray Kroc and it worked, I think they definitely would have been way more
Less
lenient.
tension,
Yeah.
more open to
Definitely.
Dialogue.
sponsorship.
And then, but when it changed too much, then the brothers would have gotten really mad, and then Ray Kroc would have done the same thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, it would have probably been so big, or there would have been so many franchises. It would have been harder to take control of everything because they would have
Yeah.
probably signed a lot of documents by them.
Yeah.
No,
So they
no
would still be
handshake.
somewhere in there. Not-
Although, I don't know because Ray Kroc did give a lot of opportunities to employees and people that he worked with afterwards. So he was
like
very
Fred Turner.
caring and don't forget he also like after like I don't know if you remember like in the after credits like they were talking about like sort of facts and stuff like McDonald's like donated billions of dollars to charities and stuff.
No, I know, but the thing is,
And they still do.
What sucks?
They still do, yeah, for sure. But like I mean, Ray Kroc was behind.
They have their
that.
own
Yeah.
the foundation. What do you call it? The Ronald McDonald Foundation.
Yeah.
where to
That's
this
super
day,
cool. I like that a lot.
Like for the sick.
That's also very insulting too, huh? That he didn't use any of the brothers' names.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like
it was very-
that's fucked.
It was very petty.
That's fucked.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
So next question.
Okay.
Well, hold on a sec, Chris. What do you think?
Honestly, it would have started better, but I think Ray Kroc is an ambitious man,
I agree.
and he was an ambitious man, and he would have taken over anyways. So that kind of actually perfectly segues into my next point, which is there such a thing as too much ambition?
Yes and no. Because
No,
like
no,
too much.
Yes or no?
Well, too much ambition can cost like your mental health, like your friends, your family. You like if you're just like always in your work, like we keep growing. Like when is enough? When are you gonna be satisfied? When is like
Yeah.
you're proud of what you're leaving behind or what you accomplish? Like in that aspect.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
I think
Like
it-
imagine you keep
yeah.
going. Like imagine to this day McDonald's like, yo, we want to colonize Mars now. Like
That's probably gonna be the first restaurant on Mars. Is gonna be a fucking
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
100%.
like you understand what I'm saying? Like when is enough? When do you be like, oh, I'm good. I could finally rest over a watchful universe.
McDonald's when they land
On a
on Mars.
watchful universe.
McDonald's when they land on Mars.
What do you have to say?
I'm loving it.
What were you gonna say, Aden?
Yoga fire.
What was I going to say now? Oh shit, yeah. I think it really depends on the person. It depends on what their goal is. But something that I actually want to mention this that he said in the film when he was talking to his wife, she was asking, "Is it ever going to be enough?" And he's like, and he thinks,
That's where I was like, yeah, that's where I was gonna be. That's where I got this idea from because I kept seeing it, and then she's like, "When is it gonna be enough? When is it gonna be enough?" And what's great for Ray Kroc is that he eventually found the woman who was married.
The pause in between that, perfect. But I remember
he
that
eventually
scene.
he eventually finds a woman who was married,
Yeah.
who was as ambitious as he was, and who was willing to conquer as much as he was, and eventually they kind of made that. I think honestly, I think without like Joan, he wouldn't have gone as far as he did because like having that person, it's different when you're thinking of stuff by yourself. But then when you have someone to bounce ideas off of who's as ambitious as you or who has
That
generally the
definitely
same
growth.
ideas as
There's
you,
definitely big
it's
growth
like
together.
things grow so much faster.
That's true.
And
Definitely.
Because at some point you'll be like, okay, like look, like
Well-
it's you don't have anybody to talk to about all that stuff.
She also pushed him in a sense that if she was ambitious, she
They do
like yeah, she like pushed his ambition as well. So like his first wife, right? I don't remember her name, but like
I
know
don't
that
have it.
You have to add it.
guys. I know that she asked like, well, when is it gonna be enough? Because for her, like I remember in the movie, she was like, we have everything. Like we're settled. We have a nice house. Blah blah blah. Like you make a decent amount of money. Like when is enough? You know. And so obviously, if he would have sat down and realized like, well, she's right, you know, like we have a nice house, we live in a nice, you know,
But he always wants more, right?
yeah, like, and he would have maybe settled down, and none of that would have happened, you know. So obviously, by finding a woman who's way more ambitious, like he fucking went. But is that a good thing? That's the thing, right?
No,
like,
but that was the team that he always wanted from the. Remember when?
Yeah,
when
but-
he first hired that couple,
Yeah.
and he kept admiring them. He was like, "Holy shit! Look at this team.
The
This is
ambition.
what I want to
Yeah.
be a part of." And so when he saw her, and then when he started connecting with her, he's like, "Holy fuck! This is who I want to marry."
yeah.
So it's like he just went back
Wait,
home.
they want to marry both of them?
He wants to marry the couple.
But yeah, but that's when he wanted a divorce, right? He's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, this is not what I want."
Oh, yeah, because when he saw the married couple, he was like,
No,
Damn.
it was. He saw the married couple. He noticed, like, yeah, that's when it clicked. He's like, okay, this is the kind of relationship I want. And then when he saw the girl that he was interested in, he's like, okay, that's my target.
yeah,
And then when things started to work out, he's like, okay, I want a divorce.
But
You know?
like,
Tarjay.
like I'm gonna take an example. Like, I agree, what I'm trying to get at is like, the first wife was not wrong. Like, when is enough?
Hmm.
You know, like,
Yeah.
you did everything. Like now, let's say like they're the biggest company in the world, like, and they're still trying to do more.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
when
that's
is
what I'm
enough?
saying.
Like, when are you gonna like settle and sit and realize like, okay, wow, like I created something really cool.
I disagree. I think is there such a thing as too much ambition? Yes, if you can't actually achieve that ambition.
Yep.
So, for example, you can let's say you have a clothing brand, and you're trying to think of ways you can sell like 15 different colors of t-shirts or 15 different colors of hoodies, but yet you still haven't managed to sell out just one set of like black hoodies or black t-shirts. Then what the fuck are you doing trying to sell red, blue, and green
fair.
and yellow t-shirts? So that's where the ambitious go. Like, oh, I'm thinking about this and this, and this, I'm gonna expand like this and that. It's like you have to kind of play it over time. You have to like, you have to think 5 steps ahead, but not 15 steps ahead. Because if you have to look forward to that 15th step, but you can't you can't plan it out 15 steps ahead because shit can fucking change.
Yeah.
So you plan it out. You plan short. You have short-term goals
And then you have
for then long-term.
Yeah.
you have the
aspirations.
mean long-term aspirations.
Because if you're too ambitious, then in that case, like, you'll notice that you're
pushing too fast,
You're
you're
pushing
not
too
going
fast.
with the wave.
your mission, your
going-
objectives are way too big, and then you give up even sooner than usual. But another reason why like really big ambitions are also not very good too, for me personally, because I think that ambition also leads to greed, which was Ray Kroc's biggest like flaw in his character, and that was what caused him to be like such a dickhead.
See, I think
I gotta agree with that.
I think I disagree with all of you.
but yeah,
But
like,
the
it's-
reason why is like I was gonna answer what you said about ambition. I believe that ambition builds empires. So everything that you see around you that's really great and that's truly fantastic is because there were ambitious men willing to put all of this stuff together. So let's look at like America, for example. It was a bunch of ambitious men putting together a country to like make for what was it, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't have ambitious enough people to do that, then you would have never they would have never reached that zenith. Now, I do agree that there's a catch to it. I'm not saying that it's all good. Obviously, it can lead to greed, but that's like a bi-person thing. Like if a person thinks that like, okay, let's say there's an emperor, right? Let's say Emperor Commodus, right? Because we talked about fucking
Gladiator.
the Gladiator last week, right?
Are you not entertained?
So imagine this, like Commodus said, okay, I like Rome, but I want more than just the territory we have. And he started pushing into Germania and all that shit. But if he thought he wanted to push into Germania for the glory and the cultural greatness of Rome, then that's one thing. But if he just wanted to go there for fucking money,
Yeah, but
gold and shit,
if you
isn't
look
that
at it,
just like greedy?
if you look at it another way as well, sometimes ambition pushes you. So like example, let's say the Roman Empire, right? Like they were so ambitious, they wanted so much land, they wanted everything, they pushed so much, but then it fucked. Let's say they got fucked
Got
over.
fucked up.
Yeah, and then
Well-
they lost all of their land. So they went from having one of the biggest emperor ever empires. Sorry, my bad. To never existing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing. So you have to make sure your ambition. You have to be it's good to be ambitious, but you have to be smart with your ambition.
Yeah.
You have to be strategic, basically.
Basically,
You
it's
can't
like
just dive
you
into
can't like that's what I mean. Like if you
dive in,
shoot
dolphin
if you
dive
if you
head
burn
first.
too fast,
Mhm.
if you strike too hard, it's gonna burn too fast.
Yeah.
So, you have to kind of go slowly, right? So look at it this way: a frog that's, let's say, you're trying to kill a frog in boiling water. If you put it in boiling water, it's gonna jump out. But if you put it in the water and you slowly turn the heat up, it's going to make the frog, like less likely. The frog's not going to notice the change in the temperature enough to really think, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking die. It's the same thing with that. Instead,
I'm gonna croak.
But I think it also depends on
Gonna croak.
But I think it also depends on morals as well, you know? Because for me, like, my morals are like they're very strict, and I feel like,
of course,
you know. So it's like depending on the person, depending on how many lines they're willing to cross. I feel like the more ambitious you become, the more greedy you get, the more, like, I guess how could you put this? Like, basically the more lines you're crossing.
The deeper you fall into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, but like you're becoming a more evil person too. I feel like, you know, like no matter how much you accomplish, there's always going to be
That greed.
but there's always going to be that dark side, right?
I don't think it's about greed or dark side. I think with increased ambition comes increased power, which comes with an increased potentiality of evil.
I shouldn't.
Okay, that's a good way to put it, actually. Yeah.
I give that to myself.
I'm gonna say something quite controversial.
Shut up.
you. No,
Don't
don't say it.
Fuck
Keep
you.
it
Fuck yourself.
It's Monday morning.
Throw straws at me again, huh, mother. No, I'm gonna say something controversial, and I
You gonna make me act up.
no, but I do believe this genuinely. I think there is gonna be a downfall of McDonald's.
You
Well,
think
they
so?
actually,
Yeah.
guys,
I do.
What do you
believe
mean
it.
by that?
they did have a downfall when like they built all these like Ronald McDonald parks, so like the little stuff, and then like McDonald was like going bankrupt, and they're like, "Yo, we need to come up with something to like fix all this shit," and that's when they came up with the McCafe. So they basically renovated every McDonald's to look the same. So they demolished the Ronald McDonald parks.
That's so
they
sad.
replaced-
Those were
and
very
it was-
expensive, right?
Yeah. And like they replaced all that seating with like the McCafe play, and they not only that, the McDonald colors were very bright, like kid, like come here, it's fun, come here and play. And now every McDonald building is modern, gray and brown bricks. And it's all old people that come and spend 9 hours a day buying their one coffee and
Yeah,
keep
but they
going.
buy one coffee.
Yeah.
They buy
What
one coffee,
business is
but
that? They don't make any money off of
but
it.
everybody goes
a
to
coffee
buy
shop
coffee
now.
at McDonald's now.
Nobody buys we're in Canada. If you didn't know, nobody buys coffee at Tim Hortons anymore.
Everybody
Who the
just
fuck
buys
buys?
McDonald's.
Everyone goes to Tim
Yeah.
Hortons to buy either iced coffee or iced cap, but that's it.
Or
Nobody
donuts.
guys or donut. What? The donuts are so and so, but like
Brother, Tim Biebs, bro.
Okay, wait. Can I explain why I think
Yeah,
the downfall? So, like in the last few months, I don't know if you realize you're looking, but like the McDonald's lines got really really long, and like you would sit there for
But that's
hours.
because of COVID.
Yeah.
Wait,
okay.
I do
Wait.
realize. But go.
So,
Let it be.
so obviously because of COVID, but if you realize that in the last few, like let's say the last 10 years, right, the younger generation changed a lot, and so now like the mindset is obviously to be rich. That's the young's mindset is to be rich.
Get your money up, not your funny up.
But it is that it's to be rich, and so who wants to be working at McDonald's? Nobody. Like no one wants to be seen working at McDonald's.
I mean,
that's why in some places they increase the pay from like up to like $20 in
Yeah.
some places.
But
but
like
they offer a good experience too, though.
Yeah, but guys, I worked at
not-
McDonald's and it's like it's very hectic, man. It's
I know, but
very-
more
regardless,
though.
like, if you
It's a
include
fucking
that-
headache to work.
It's
at
a
McDonald's.
modern. It's
You
modern
go to the
slavery. You get
McDonald's.
yelled at. Everybody just
you go to
wants their
McDonald's
stuff.
everywhere. You fucking see that fucking Zorro guy.
He's like,
Yeah, but people don't give a shit about that though. If you put on your CV that you worked at McDonald's, there's so many people.
Yeah, because they know how fucking you get your
How
ass
shitty
whipped.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know,
bro,
but
like they know
there's
what
so
you
many
go through.
people who would rather go through that and put McDonald's on their CV than like just say, I don't want that.
Yeah, but now more and more, like Lucas said, not only that, the generation changing. I feel like kids these days, they're like going out to these like, they're spending more money on these like independent or like these brand new places, and they're tired of eating the same old food every day.
And yeah,
there is definitely a shift in culture. I think even fast food has. I'm gonna return to your thought and make sure you hold it. Even fast food has like changed in the sense of what fast food we eat. So I've noticed more and more people are going into like places like Cali MTL or
Poulet Rouge. What's Madame Poulet?
Madame Poulet. And
Shout out to Madame Poulet for giving us that extra
Poulet Rouge
chicken.
as well. Is
Poulet Rouge
Yeah.
is not fast food, but like
All these
people
new
are going
places.
generally at least where we live. People are going generally more into into more local fast food restaurants.
Yeah, that are a bit more pricey, but
Yeah.
the quality of food.
Yeah.
So your McDonald's churros cost you what? Like with your coupons, like $8. Well, not anymore, but like $10.
now it's expensive too.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
now
Yeah,
thing.
before I
you
remember
you go to Calimente just for a sandwich, like $15, like just with like
but
$4.
the
side of
quality
fries.
is a
Yeah.
lot higher. So you see that a lot, and then like places like McDonald's or Wendy's or to lesser extent some of the offshooters, and I say offshooters like not in a disrespectful way, but I mean like
Harvey's.
like Wendy's, Harvey's, Burger King, and all those other places. They're kind of like it's like the first choice we have is
McDonald's.
like no the first choice we have is local fast food restaurants.
Actual restaurants.
Like no like when it comes to
Okay,
fast food,
okay.
local fast food restaurants, like the sub fast food restaurants like Burger King, Wendy's, whatever, and then the very last thing we order is just fucking McDonald's, because like usually it's too fucking late.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like fucking
And that too.
1 a.m. and it's the only thing open,
If-
and that I think gives a big advantage
yeah, it
to
does
the,
because
to
it's
the
the
big
only
M.
thing open. If you think, like the number of times we were hungry after 11 o'clock, everything's closed. Everything's closed.
Yeah, but if you look now, I don't know, but where we live, after like 1-2 o'clock, most McDonald's close in Montreal.
It's only the drive-throughs are open.
No, not even now.
What?
Yeah,
because of COVID
most
and
of-
they're understaffed. They
they're
don't have enough
understaffed.
staff to
So
keep it open.
This is
inside.
this is
That's
why
part of the reason.
this is what my reason is. Okay, so I was like, why I realized this is because I was out a few months ago. I was in the West Island, and one of the big McDonald's, like honestly, like probably the biggest McDonald's in the West Island. Like everyone goes there. Okay.
on sources.
Source is one of them, but there was another one further down on the 40. Okay. Biggest McDonald's. We were all drunk. We're like, fuck it, let's go get McDonald's. You know, it's across the highway. We go to the McDonald's. Closed. It was not 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. We're like, what the fuck?
The inside was closed.
No, drive through everything. We look inside, no lights on, completely closed. There's a sign, and it says permanently closed. And we're like, what the fuck? Understaffed. They're so understaffed that they
Can't
close.
run the night. They probably have nobody night shift, so they can't like.
No,
like
they,
the restaurant, they
closed
closed the
chain.
McDonald's for it said 3 weeks because they had no staff because they need to find staff.
Holy shit!
But that's
So
so bad.
they're
But I'm
so
telling you, it is
understaffed.
getting worse because of COVID.
It's crazy.
There's no staff. Nobody wants to work
Normandy
anymore.
is I
Jam
went
packed
at
all the time.
get there at 10 p.m. You'll wait an hour and a half for your food
because there's nobody. There's like two
shit.
workers, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So that's why I think I don't think it's gonna disappear, obviously, but I really think there's gonna be a
You're gonna
downfall.
know a lot
like
of-
like
a lot of
these- they're
chains
gonna
gonna
shrink
close.
down. They're gonna shrink down a lot.
100%.
Like let's look at Subway. Subway's one of the few that's actually expanding, but that's because you only need like what 2-3 people to
You
run the
need
whole
one.
thing.
Yo, every
McDonald's?
Subway I go to, like, not gonna lie, in the last year, it's always one guy.
Can I be honest? Also, Subway's is the smartest fast food chain to ever exist. You don't have a fryer. You don't have a stove. You have nothing. All you have is your bread,
And the toaster.
the toaster, and your condiments. It's the fucking simplest thing in the world, and you could literally do it in a fucking closet. Like, you know, the number one fast food chain that like with the most amount of real estate is Subway's in the world.
Yeah, Subway.
And you need a little
'cause-
space. You just need to have that.
And what do they call the position? Sandwich artist. So that's appealing, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm an artist. Ooh, right? But instead of it being I'm a cashier at a McDonald's, it's like I'm a sandwich artist.
sales
associate
at McDonald's.
That's why I do believe that there is a downfall of McDonald's because in Montreal, obviously I'm speaking off of what I've seen. A lot of them are severe, like not understaffed, but severely understaffed.
And not just that. Ever since COVID, like to add to your point, like every McDonald's used to be open, like inside, and now
24/7.
at 11 or even 10, they lock the door. So they need less staff. They just need people to run the drive-through. That's it.
That's
So
it.
they don't need people walking the
because
lobbies.
they don't have staff.
At the front cash. Exactly.
It's
Do you
ridiculous.
think they're gonna eventually
And not
eliminate?
just that. In the last 3 years, Well, in the last, more than that, they replaced. They added all those machines that you can do your own orders, and they even added the order on the app. So they used to have like 5-6 cashiers. Now you go notice the McDonald's. You go,
It's like
80% of people order on this machine. There's one cashier and there's only 2 cashiers. Like
And
before,
usually
used to
it's
be
the
a
old-
full row of 5-6
and
cashiers.
Usually it's the old fucks who ordered from the cashier or
Exactly.
someone who
Well,
wants.
when's the last time you actually went in the front
If
and
you go
ordered?
to the screens, if there's 6 of them, most of the time like 4 or 5 are out of use. You see they're blocked
Yeah.
because they can't. The orders coming in and the amount of staff that's there is just they can't follow.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think that, and why I was bringing up the youth is because
is that why it's closed? Like some of the screens?
yeah,
Like some of the screens purposely don't work.
purposely don't work because they
Holy
can't
shit.
take in
6 people ordering
6
all those
people
trios.
ordering. Because obviously more cash is open, more orders are coming in, but they can't follow. So that's why they purposely close. Like, oh, they're out of use or out of paper. But it's not true. They have hundreds of rolls of paper in the back. So I do believe that the youth don't want to work at McDonald's anymore.
No, they don't.
They don't.
I guarantee you.
And so they can't hire because no one wants to work. And so they're so understaffed that they're literally closing down McDonald's.
So
That's
like
fucked
to
up.
to close like at least the general question segment of this is like, do you think fast food is dying?
Yeah.
No.
I think it is.
I think it's still got a good 20 years,
No,
but
no,
like
no, I don't think
eventually
it's dying.
more and more, like once the old people go, once the people who don't go every day for like their coffee and their thing, or people who go to McDonald's to chill, like when you're gonna go to McDonald's once a week.
That as the McDonald's near my house, there's like a patch of grass right outside the parking lot, and there's like, I think 2 or 3 times I've seen a bunch of like old Greeks just sitting there just talking in like lawn chairs. Is the funniest thing ever.
Although,
Always.
but can I say something? I don't think fast food's dying. I think McDonald's made such a big name for themselves that they can't.
No, they'll never
Live up to
disappear. They'll never disappear.
No,
but
the
But
point I'm
he's
trying to
talking
make.
general, Aren.
Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
Like if you look at A&W,
yeah.
they're always open 24 hours.
Yeah.
A lot of the spots that you go to, and why you never see that many customers go in. There's not that many workers, so it's a perfect balance. McDonald's is the other way around. You have so many customers that need to come in the middle of the night, like at 2 a.m. How many times have you gone to a McDonald's at 2 a.m.?
Probably every
Yeah, yeah,
Saturday.
yeah. But like, how many workers would be there, dude? Like 1 or 2?
That's it.
Exactly. So how would you sustain that? And there's like a lot of kids that want to come, especially at that time, just because McDonald's is McDonald's.
But
And
that's
then
why.
A&W, Tim
so-
Hortons, it's like
so if
those
you
places
clo-
are always open and they never had
If
had an issue with
If
that.
you close the inside and you have no choice but to go to the drive-through, you'll have less
dude,
people
even
go in
then, in
'cause
West
only
Island-
people were driving.
yeah,
are
but even
going.
in
Have
the
you ever
West
wor-
Island, dude, they still had that issue.
Have
Just
you ever
because-
worked? Have you ever
yeah.
worked night shift,
I've
Alex?
actually for 3 years. This is an accomplishment, guys. Like I deserve a medal for this. I've never worked night shift
That's
because
crazy.
I started when I was 16.
You deserve
So
a
by
medal
law-
for not working night
Yeah,
shift.
because you and now by law, when you apply to McDonald's, they make
You
you
have to
sign
do
a
it, like, one
contract and you
night.
have to do night shifts, like rotations, because nobody wants to do it. So when I started working, I was 16 years old, so I needed my parents' consent to like work night shift, and they never gave it. So when I turned 18, they couldn't just switch up the contract, so they kept harassing me to sign it, and my parents like, we're not signing it. So they never got to give me night
That's
shift.
very
That's
funny.
crazy.
Like if,
No, but like to get back to Adam's point, like I don't think it'll die, like disappear. Obviously not, because it's set in stone, you know. But
their chains are gonna close down, but they're gonna be a bit more.
they're still gonna be there. But
There's
I
gonna
think-
be probably a shrinkage in the amount of chains, and
Yeah.
they're
The
probably gonna
downfall.
consolidate a lot of the chain. Like they're gonna merge chains. Like there's gonna be a bunch of the workers are gonna go from one chain to another, and then like they're gonna consolidate their forces there. But I want to move on and do like a last segment. I call it McDonald's Mythbusters.
Shoot.
Alex, get ready.
Ah shit.
Hi, doggy.
So, question: do McDonald's employees ever smile?
What the fuck?
Yes, especially cashiers. Not the people in the kitchen, that's for sure.
To the manager.
No, I
They always
don't think
act like they're
I've
happy.
ever seen.
Not if your
I,
manager's Francisco.
Wow, shots fired.
Especially workers like Rodrigo definitely smile all the time.
every time you lift it, we hear it.
No, because I don't think I've ever seen a McDonald's worker smile. Ever.
No, you'll see people laughing, like smiling.
Of course,
Oh.
man.
I think it's
So myth confirmed. So, next up, are the ice cream machines actually broken?
Okay. I'm gonna tell you something, and this is gonna shock your fucking hearts or like everything.
Nobody wants to
So
make fucking
basically-
ice cream.
The ice cream machine. Most of the time, you go at night and they say it's broken, right?
Or it doesn't work.
Okay, so the staff that closes, so the shifts go from 3 to 11. 11 to 7 is the night shift all the time. It's like 11 to 7. So we clean the machine. So basically, if the night shifts even does one cone, they have to clean that whole fucking machine at 6 in the morning. So
Yeah.
they will say the
And
machine is
how long does it take to clean the
like a
machine?
good 2 hours because you have to disassemble
Holy
all the pieces. You have to like
Jesus
power wash it. You have to scrub every single piece, and then you have to assemble it back together. But if you're 2 people working, like you're gonna do that for 2 hours, the other guy's gonna be serving all those customers. So it's like since you're understaffed and that, like you don't really have time. Like it takes a lot of time. A lot of people would be lazy, so they would just say the machine's broken. So if they never turned it on and they never used ice cream, that machine's spick and clean because like it wasn't used. So the machine didn't blend the ice cream, and you didn't use like the little the hose that like pushes the ice cream, so you don't have to wash anything. So they would just say it's closed because they didn't want to clean it.
Okay.
Honestly,
So the machines
bullshit.
The
machines
machines aren't broken. It just they don't want
It's just
to.
lazy
They're
people,
lazy and
yeah.
they don't want to fucking.
I would have
clean
done the
machine.
same thing.
so it's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Like if I worked at McDonald's, there's no fucking way I'm
Like
making-
imagine
having
for
to
that
clean that.
one person wants
Nah,
that one
fuck that,
cone.
bro.
You
Imagine
have to
someone
clean for
It's
2
broken.
hours.
It's broken, bro.
No,
It's
dude,
broken.
you know what I've done? Like if someone ordered ice cream, they'd be like, "Can I have ice cream, please?" I'm like, "What?" I just keep saying that.
What?
Like what?
What?
Ice cream? What?
What?
What's that? What's ice cream? What?
And if you
Until I
want
fucking give up.
another myth, the ice cream machine is not even real ice cream. It's something called Sunday Mix, which is just cream and milk blended together. It's not even actual.
Is it like the Insta Mix in the movie?
It evolved a bit, so it's like a sack of like milk and cream in a bag. So it's like creamy milk, but it's not
Okay.
actual ice cream. And when you put it in the machine, it's like the machine's like super freezing, so it like gives that texture. But it's like it's not. It's like soft yogurt. It's
So-
not actual ice cream.
So it's not ice cream.
No.
I'm loving it.
That's crazy.
So
What else?
are the hamburgers actual meat?
This you don't know because everything's frozen, and they all look like pieces of like it just like a frozen piece, like a circle, and then once you grill it, like it becomes like meaty and like it's like a literally like I don't know how to explain
It's
it.
meaty.
It's like a hockey puck.
It's like a hockey, like it's like a pink frozen hockey puck, and that shit turns into brown meat after.
Okay, wait. I heard
And
that-
everything's packaged. Like
Okay. But I heard that like when they advertise that McDonald's, like,
It's probably
the
beef, but
patties are
it's, like,
100% beef.
I heard this. Yeah, I know
That
what
they're
you're talking
100% beef. That's the name of the company. that
No, okay,
they-
no.
Oh, wait, what was it?
You know, so what I heard was the beef that's in there is 100% beef. So it's wordplay.
Yeah, yeah.
In a sense, so
but like, there's extra shit in
so
it.
they're-
Yeah.
you know, they say, oh, it's 100% beef, but they're talking about the beef that's in there is 100% beef. You know, get it?
but it could be
Yeah, yeah,
parts of
but
beef.
That's like
It's not just
It's,
like
it's
beef
just
sirloin. You know,
it's
it's like
wordplay.
it could be maybe like ears, like legs.
no, but I heard that that 100% beef
yeah, is the name of the company.
is the name of like
That's crazy.
the company that they get it. Yeah, because like that's bullshit though, right? Because
Yeah,
if you look at the patty and you say that is 100% beef, that's bullshit. Like saying
Yeah.
that the beef is 100%, that's
Yeah.
bullshit. You know, it's like that's
Bullshit.
lying to it. But like if the name of the company that supplies them the meat is
it's
100%
called
beef,
beef.
Yeah, I heard that
fucking
too.
crazy.
that would be fucked.
That's
Like I don't know if that's
insane.
true though.
But that's the
because
thing,
you'd
you
give
don't
it
know.
different
But
names.
how would he know? Yeah.
Everything comes in boxes.
Everything comes in a box that has McDonald's on it, right? So-
McDonald's and you seal it. Everything's sealed. Everything's
Yeah.
like tight sealed, and it's like packets of.
Yo,
But does
wait.
it say 100% beef
No,
on the boxes that you
on the
get?
boxes? No, yeah, it does. He's right. It
Okay.
says like in black.
Yeah, so it
100%.
is. It's the name of
That's
the company.
crazy.
It's the name of the company.
Yo, imagine that's
That's
true.
fucked.
That the
But you
name
don't
of
know.
the company
You
is
don't
called
know.
So wait,
100% beef.
it says 100% beef on the patties.
Yeah. No, like on the box.
I'm loving it.
No, but like thinking about that, that's fucking smart, but that's scary at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah, yeah.
Big girl.
Like
Yo-
the way that they just
They
figure
can
out
literally be feeding you shit.
Baby girl.
100% beef,
100%.
and they can't get sued for it.
Well, they're not lying.
fucked up.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
100% beef.
It's 100% beef.
100%.
Next question. Next myth.
Yeah.
So, are the burgers 100 actual meat?
You don't know.
We don't
Okay,
know.
so I'll write a
So
question mark.
inconfirmed.
Inconfirmed. As
Uh,
much as I know, when
there's
I
a
grill
documentary
it,
on
There's
this.
not a there's not
But
a
there's a
myth. There
documentary
is.
on this on
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit too.
Prime
I think
on
that's
Prime
bullshit.
the documentary.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
think
you
it's
know which one I'm
hidden.
talking about?
Yeah, the one where they show you how they make the.
Supersize Me.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, how
bro.
they should. They
But-
show you how they
Bro,
make the beef.
Super
It's a guy
Size
that-
Me, this to this day freaks me out. He took every single sandwich, put it in a jar. Everything was rotting. After 2 months, the fries still look the same. That still shocks me to this
Dude,
day.
I there's a guy online, okay? He was in his, I think it was his car or something, and 4 years later found a hamburger, so like the burgers that we're eating here, in the back of his car, completely sound. Like
Nah, that's impossible.
nothing.
Because like even in Super Size Me, the fries rotting.
Okay, yeah, dude.
It was an actual video. It went completely viral. The guy found a burger that was hid, like, you know, like, I guess got lost or something,
Oh.
and it looked.
Yeah, but like a lot of people.
This is what I
play it
wanted
out.
to add.
Mm.
So they have this thing where when you finish flipping the burgers before putting it in the pan, you have to season it. In the seasoning, like they say it's salt and pepper,
MSG.
but it's not salt and pepper.
MSG.
Cause like it tastes like if you spray too much, like it had this like rocky gravel texture,
It's called MSG.
and that's
So
like
what is
the
that?
thing, the
So
feeling of
MSG
you
is-
being hungry and
Yeah.
wanting to eat more.
Oh
There's
shit!
this, the Asians. It's very popular in the Asian culture, and they don't hide it. It's something that they use in their food. It's called MSG. I don't, maybe not the right person to talk about this, but I know that it's like salt, but it's made to make your food taste better. So it's like a chemical that looks like salt, and people put it on like in their food, and it's. I can't even explain it. I don't know what it is. I really don't know.
Literally, like the best
But-
example I could give is like little grains like this.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
that
like
tastes
rocky
amazing.
and gravelly flavor, and it's like it doesn't taste like natural salt and pepper like at all.
So
So it's probably MSG.
MSG,
search this up. Sorry.
MSD. No. Let's look. Let's do that later.
Okay, so next.
It's not really not really a myth. I just want to ask you a question. What's the most disgusting thing at McDonald's?
Okay. For all you people who love the filet de fucking poisson, do not eat that shit. Bro.
Filet of
fish.
Filet of fish, bro. Do not touch that shit. That's all I have to say.
Why?
Because it just, I don't know, man. I would not trust to eat that ever in my life after
Well,
working at
what-
McDonald's. Because it literally looks like the brick patties and they say it's fish. So I don't fucking know, man.
That's crazy.
It's literally like the chicken pieces. It's frozen chicken pieces, but they all have like the wheat on it, like the powder,
Yeah.
like the flour. That's the word I was looking for. So the McChicken has the flour on it, like white flour, like the bake. The chicken is literally a square piece, and you dunk it, and after like
The
3
flour.
minutes, it's
I mean,
literally
the
the fish fillet. So I don't know, man. That's all I have to
Okay.
say.
You know what's crazy? The fact that we all know this
We still eat it.
and we still
No,
fucking
I've
eat
never
it.
eaten a filet.
but, like,
of fish.
I've eaten
Besides,
it
I'm
before.
saying forget the filet of fish. The fact that
100%
the
beef right here,
nuggets,
guys.
the beef, like the fact that we know these things and we still go.
because people don't care
Right?
about fast food.
Like
Like-
how fucked is it that fries don't like,
disintegrate, but
decompose.
our body could digest it.
It's cardboard.
dude? I heard a fact that like 6 fries, like it takes you an hour to digest 6 fries.
Oh my
McDonald's fries, you're saying?
Yeah,
That's
while
crazy.
I'm eating them.
Eat
Boom.
long
wait.
fraggle stab.
So you
What?
say filet of fish is the
Yeah, I would not touch
okay. And one last question: do you guys use real eggs?
that. Okay. So yes, we do use real eggs, but they changed the policies a lot. So at first there was 3 type of eggs. There was the round eggs only for the egg McMuffins, and then the McCrepes had these like yellow foldable scrambled eggs, which this guy's disgusting. It was definitely not real eggs. It was literally a sealed pack of yellow scrambled pre-made eggs that you would just put in a microwave and then you would put it in the sandwich. And then that didn't pass food etiquette.
Oh no.
So they removed that. They got a new grill just for eggs. So you would crack like round eggs in a round thing. It would cook it for like a minute. and then you'd flip it for another minute, and it would be normal. And then you would only use that same circle eggs to make those sandwiches. And then for wraps, they have this like, you know, like when you go to like IG or Costco, you buy the white yolk egg whites. So
Egg
it would be something like that, but it was yellow scrambled eggs, and you would pour it on the grill and you'd make the scrambled eggs. So I don't think that was real, like processed eggs. But now, if you want to eat healthy eggs at McDonald's, just get any McMuffin sandwich, any bagel sandwich, because even the bagels, they switch the yellow disgusting scrambled egg pre-made thing to the white circle eggs, and even the McCrepes. So the only thing that has fake eggs,
I love you say white circle eggs. You mean an actual
like
egg?
the regular egg.
Okay.
White circle egg, my friend.
White circle egg. For a second, I was confused. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? White circle eggs?
Okay.
I thought he was talking about
So-
the yolk.
No,
So-
yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
They use
white
real
circle,
egg.
Like white circle eggs, I deadass thought it was like a ring of like a pineapple ring, but it was just like a white egg.
Okay. So basically, they use real eggs for bagels now, like McMuffins and McCrepes. So the sweet
Did you
pancake
say
bread.
did you say sausages?
No, sausage McMuffins.
Why don't you say egg McMuffin, motherfucker?
Okay, and the only thing that uses fake eggs is basically the tortilla wrap.
Okay.
Okay.
And another disgusting thing, the burrito. Like, I don't know if you guys ever had the burrito mix
No.
burritos at McDonald's. It's like a hidden menu. It's basically these pre-made, like it's a bag and it's already pre-made burrito, and you would just take the cheese, cut it in half, slice it in a tortilla bread, and put that mix and just wrap it together. And people would heat that in
That's
the microwave
disgusting.
for 15 seconds and eat that, but that's like all processed and disgusting.
So-
yeah.
So
So real eggs, yes.
so real
definitely.
eggs?
Wait, I have another question. Are the buns made out of your cheeks?
Bro, definitely.
When it comes to fast food in general, I think that people should generally abstain from it. Obviously, we kind of pigged out here
For the
And
podcast,
just for
obviously.
the podcast.
Whoops.
We
and,
don't
uh,
eat McDonald's normally, right?
Yeah,
Actually, I
and,
actually don't eat
We're not like one of these crazy motherfuckers who go to McDonald's and when you get like all this one less fry on their fucking order, I was like, they go like,
Give me what I want!
and they go and they try to like abuse the fucking poor ass workers.
Yeah, I
who,
mean, they definitely.
who-
I'm not that type of guy to go ask for more cream because my drink doesn't taste like cream. But
Ça goûte pas extra crème.
I can't believe you said that.
Yo, a funny
Dude,
story I
I'd
have at
fucking
McDonald's.
die
Yo,
if I
the
was
fucking audacity! I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, I get a drink, I taste
Et ça ne
it.
goûte pas extra crème.
Like, if it doesn't taste like what I'm normally used to, I'll be like, whatever. I'll just fucking drink it.
You take the L.
yeah, but the thing is, these people go to McDonald's every fucking day.
Yeah.
So if they often get like they often go like dollar for dollar, like they live check to check. That's why they go to McDonald's and they eat so much, or they drink so much coffee from there, because for them every dollar counts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fuck up their order and they go there every day, obviously they're gonna get frustrated, and especially because you're McDonald's workers, they're going to disrespect you even more so. Because specifically you work at fast food.
Yeah.
I've been
restaurants
called
and-
all sorts of things by all sorts of people at McDonald's for like this stupidest thing as like my manager, we were losing too many sauces. So he started charging everybody 25 cents for sauces.
No.
And these people will
Fucking
literally
stupid.
like want to choke me across the cash. just
you asked them for
I asked
25
them for 25 cents. So I would look at my manager and just like slide it and be like, take it.
Take it.
Another funny story I had.
You're the
These
reason why
fucking
McDonald's
old
is
Greek
closing.
people would come. No offense to Greek people. I love Greek people. They're my homies. These
Bruh.
yayas and these papus would come and they would literally do their groceries by being like, yeah, give me 30 sugars with my small coffee or 30 little milks. And they would bring that shit home. So this old lady came once and she's like, yes, I want 20 sugars. I looked at her. I'm like, I am not giving you 20 sugars for your small coffee. It wasn't even a large coffee. She's like, no, je vais le mettre dans mon café. So I literally looked at her like this, like the Egyptian meme.
Dude, you should have put it in yourself. Get a fucking 20.
For 5 minutes, I watched this lady,
She put all 20 in.
all 20.
No.
all
little
20
coffee.
Splendas.
And he's like, est-ce que je peux avoir une cuillère? And she started fucking
Would you like some?
Mixing-
Yo, that's fucking
would you like some
wild.
coffee with your sugar?
No, I remember when I was
Bro, 20 little packets of sugar in the small. Like for real, like I was so shook.
the most I've heard was like 5, never not 20.
Like 20. She actually put it inside, and I looked at her. My manager's like, I'm not giving you 20 shit. I'm like, look, she's putting it in her coffee.
That's fucked up, bro.
When I was younger, because this is the one at Normandy's, right? Like when I was younger, I used to go there with my grandmother. Like this is an elementary school. We would have McDonald's like once every 2-3 weeks, and she was from Greece, and so you would always have like those grandmas and those grandpas who would like go there. Like the Greeks would go and they would talk
Every
they would always
morning,
whine.
same thing.
Same, like it's like that soap opera, right? It's
Yeah.
like, it's
Every
so
day
funny.
they would come. So then
Yeah.
every 3 months when we'd have increase of 5 cents, they would be like, I paid 125 yesterday. I'm not paying. It's like, but it's like inflation.
And you know they don't give a fuck either.
Like-
They'll be
Oh
honest.
yeah.
Now the coffees like the little coffees aren't even $1 anymore. They're like $1.75.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Okay, so back then they used to come with like $1.05 to the cent.
Yeah.
So if the next day like 4 months passed, you've been paying $1 it's like I paid 1.5. Malaka, I'm not paying. I'm like sir, it's 5 cents. I don't care, Malaka.
And then they start
Give me my coffee.
they start throwing hands like
Yeah, but very funny stories at McDonald's.
just to roll back a bit about, like you were saying, how people go there obviously to because it's cheap, right? And
Yeah.
so they go live paycheck to paycheck, and McDonald's is a very cheap option.
yeah.
This, I don't know why, but this is like one of my biggest pet peeves when people say that, because like again, like my dad was a cook for many years, owned a restaurant, and I like to cook. Like that's such utter bullshit. Like you can definitely on a budget go do groceries
because
and-
people are lazy,
and
Luca.
yeah, but okay, also you're not gonna be eating steak and shit, but like
No, but
eat
my mom has
well.
told me it is cheaper to go buy groceries shit at
Groceries.
IGA and make yourself a meal for like 4
100%.
days. Like what?
100%.
Like you buy like let's say like chicken, like $4.
Without a doubt.
Like 4 slices of
Without
chicken.
a
That's
doubt.
literally like 4.
Like if you're really on that tight of a
well,
budget,
okay,
Like
well,
a,
hold
a
on,
bag
hold-
of broccolis.
Hold on, like
a bag of carrots.
4 chickens is not $4. I wish that was the case. It's fucking $20.
Okay,
no, I
now.
just- I make
Plus, that's chicken
but, like,
breasts. But
you
like,
go to Costco, okay, really on. Imagine you're on a budget. Okay, you go buy
Like $15, you
go
could buy a lot.
That's still cheap though.
You could buy your vegetables. You could buy potatoes. You could buy, and that's $15. You're paying $15 for a churro that's gonna last you 30 seconds. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, like
I totally agree with Luca. Like it's
no. Well, it's not. Yeah,
it's a time. It's a
I
time
agree.
to cook
it's,
your food.
It's not just the time to cook your food. Yeah, well, it is the time to cook your food,
but it's definitely.
but it's
cheaper.
fucking laziness too.
yeah,
Like people are
obviously, yeah.
fucking lazy.
Like if they have to spend $1 extra and not have to cook, like they're
sometimes
doing it,
sometimes I think about like, fuck, should I order McDonald's? Should I buy McDonald's? I'm like, no, fuck
Yeah,
it. Like
definitely.
no, I'm just gonna save that money. I'm just gonna cook
yeah.
it.
I
just gonna cook
but
some
like
food.
I do that too. You know,
Like yeah, so sometimes
everybody's done it at
sometimes
some
you just
point.
feel fucking lazy
I'm
and you
saying-
fucking do it, but you shouldn't.
I'm
That's the
saying for
point.
the people that live paycheck to paycheck and truly believe that eating McDonald's is cheaper.
Yeah.
Like there's some people that genuinely believe that they go with their families that like they have like children, they go there every night to have supper because they
Well,
think it's cheaper.
They would spend so much money.
Eat McDonald's.
Fucking guy.
Like they would go to families and guys. Like I've seen orders where like they're like 6. Like you know, like the grandparents are there, the parents are there, kids are there. Like your meal costs you like $120. You ordered 8 Big Mac churros. Like that's not cheap, bro. Like 120. Like let's be real.
You
People
go,
say, "Oh, don't go to a restaurant; it's so expensive. Better go to fast food." If you go to a resto, any general resto that just has like a regular $15 burger with tip, your bill would be $20, $22. Like you go to Trois Brasseurs, you go to Jackass, you get
Yo,
the most
and low
basic
key,
thing.
fucking McDonald's is expensive now.
oh, fucking expensive.
Bro,
40 nuggets, 2 fries, which okay, it's a lot of food.
This cost us $50.
no more than that. It was like it was like $57
20. That's 40 nuggets.
and 2 large
Two
fries.
large fries is $50.
That's crazy.
But
I'm
back
sorry.
then, they used that like it wouldn't be. But honestly, we're in Quebec too, so
Okay.
it's more expensive. But in the States, it's very
Wait,
it's cheaper.
another thing. Yeah, I was gonna say, fucking weird. Okay, I went to Portugal this summer, and obviously McDonald's is everywhere. So I found the McDonald's that night, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna go get food. You know, completely by myself. Like I was just strolling around, and I'm looking at the menu, and everything's in euros, right? And I'm like, no, this can't make sense. They had something called like the McDonald's Fest. It was called. It was 4 Big Mac trios and a box of 20 nuggets. Okay,
Yes,
so
how many
4
euros?
Big
That's
Mac
not-
trios with large fries, large drinks, 4 of them with a 20 nugget piece was 12 euros.
That's nothing.
12
fucked
fucking euros. Are you
fucked up.
kidding
Like
me?
literally this. That 4 Big Mac Cheetos, 14 each with tax. So four
Just
times,
to make sense, okay? If we would have gotten that, that would have been perfect for us because a Big Mac each, let's say, and 20 nuggets, 12 euros. Today it costed us almost $100 for everything here.
and we didn't even get 4 Cheetos. We got 2 Cheetos and 2 20 nuggets.
It's fucking
large
Yo, I
fries.
literally sat there. I ordered it. I'm not even gonna lie. I ordered it because I was curious. I'm like, no, there has to be
Something.
something to like.
Yeah.
There's no set for $12.
But to
Maybe
be
it's
fair,
like a
you are
mini
talking
Big
about
Mac, a mini Mac.
You are talking about Portugal as well, though. Like Portugal is pretty,
Yeah, it's a way
But
more
like,
important
like,
country.
McDonald's.
it's still crazy.
Yeah,
it's still
but
crazy.
The fact that how much I got, no, like to the point where I didn't believe it. I ordered it,
And, then you
and
just
she came with 4 bags, and I'm like, they're like, actually, she's like, yeah. And so I walked home. I fed everybody. We were like 6 people on this trip. I fed everybody for 12 euros, which is less than $20 Canadian.
I remember we went to this is not McDonald's, it's Burger King. We went to Armenia, and there was the Burger King there, and
Black Angus.
trash. So we went to Burger King, and at the Burger King there was like 2 combos or 2 trios for like 500 dram, and the exchange rate is like $5.
Oh yes, I remember that.
It
Wait,
was,
whoa, 500 drum?
500 dram is $5.
No, dude. 1,000 dram is like a bit less than $2 Canadian. 1,000 dram.
That costs you like 70 cents.
Dude, it's nothing.
That's crazy.
Big chilling. We moved to Armenia.
Sorry,
Only order
it was
Big
about
Macs.
sorry, it's about like $2, maybe a bit more than $2 Canadian.
Yeah, I believe
sorry,
that.
but even then, like
That's crazy.
nothing.
That was the
Literally-
cost of a vodka shot in an Armenian club.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
1,000 dram.
That's crazy.
You got
There
a
you go.
shot right
Well, actually,
there.
no, it's 500.
Was it 500?
It was 500.
I remember
dirhams
my
for
dad
a shot of
went-
vodka.
That's fucking crazy.
He went to Armenia, and my dad's, I don't know, he's fucking stupid, but like he does these, like he likes like.
Did he
they
go with Azad?
Yeah, he did, and he's fucking stupid too. They go overboard, you know. So there's this. He gets to the airport and he met this taxi driver that was super nice, you know. So he looked at him and yes, he goes, "You follow me. All week I'm here, I pay you good." So the guy followed him for 7 days, slept in the car, waited for him, drove him everywhere, and so they agreed on a price which was $100 American dollars
For a
for
week.
a week. And the guy did it. And my dad felt bad at the end because like, I didn't think the guy was fucking asleep there. I was gonna tell him like, yo, like if I need to pick me up, like just come pick me up, you know?
Yeah.
No, the kid slept.
100 US.
Yeah,
I don't
but-
know how many
Was
drums
the
that
kid
is.
16?
No, I think he was in his mid 30s. Like it was
Probably
brand new
looked like he was in
family.
his mid
Bro.
30s.
Was he definitely a harut or a hagop?
But he slept in his car the whole week he was there
Dude, he
waiting for
didn't
him.
see his family or friends
No,
for
nothing.
7 days.
No,
Bro,
waited
I would have done
everything.
that for the
Bro,
money.
That's messed up.
Fucked up.
Bro,
Ambition or ambition?
bro.
Wait.
Wait.
So my dad felt bad, you know, like,
Yeah.
and so at the end he gave him an extra 100 because for us, it's nothing, you know,
Bro,
like
200.
$200.
I make that in 2
My
hours.
dad
that
felt bad, so he gave him an extra $100. The guy got on his knees and kissed his feet, and he was like, "Thank you, you fed my family for 6 months."
What
Fucking
the
stupid,
fuck is
bro.
wrong with
You're
you?
not okay. You're not okay. But it's just like stupid. But just to like understand, like
Dude, that's wild.
it has nothing to do with McDonald's, but just to
Yeah.
like
And so think about it. 100
Good for him,
US.
honestly, dude.
100 US is enough for a guy to feed his family for 6
200,
months.
200.
200
so
US.
100 is 3 months. That's
Uh,
crazy.
200 US is enough to feed a man in Armenia his entire family for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, when we're
But
talking about
100
family-
US
Yeah.
is probably not enough to buy this meal.
That's the craziest part.
Yeah,
Bro.
It's messed up.
That's
No,
fucked
by the
up.
way, sorry. Another thing about McDonald's when you mentioned Europe, I don't know if it's the same in Portugal, but when I went to Belgium, Italy was the same, I believe. I don't remember if Armenia was the case, but McDonald's, for them, it's not red there. It's not red and yellow. It's green.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's crazy. So that's another thing with McDonald's is that they're very smart with like the way that they advertise themselves in the different parts of the world.
Yeah.
So red.
Oh, it's true in Greece too. It was green.
Yeah,
I remember.
Greece
I do
as well,
remember
that's
that.
true. So red, the color like refers to like hunger, and when you see it, like it kind of like brings that feeling that like you want to eat. So
Yeah.
in the States, in America, people love to eat and like buy a shit ton of stuff. Like, look at us, bro. But then in Europe, for them, their mentality is very much like environmental and healthy, right? So it's like if you green is like they associate it to that. So it's like McDonald's like, oh, okay, you go there.
Smart,
It's so
insane.
smart. It's
Great cross, ladies and gentlemen.
It's popping.
Dude, I love Casey Frey, man.
Whoa, it's lit in here, huh?
Wait, do you guys know? Do you guys know Casey Frey?
Huh?
Do you guys know Casey Frey?
No.
Okay, we have to show you videos after.
Get your money up. Let your money up.
No, but yeah, dude, McDonald's, they're so it's genius, man. The main message that I got from the film was I mean, it's pretty obvious because he says it multiple times, is the idea of persistence.
Yeah.
But something that I noticed the second time watching this. So remember the thing he was listening to at the beginning of the movie where the guy was talking about the motivation thing. So where he was talking about nothing is more important than ambition and persistence in the world.
Yeah.
You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the persistent, like nothing's gonna work. Ray Kroc is so unoriginal, but his persistence helped him to go so far. Everything he did was like he didn't do anything himself. He stole everything, but he kept pushing. So he's so unoriginal to the point that the last speech that he gave was the exact same speech that he heard from the beginning. If you listen to like
I remember that.
It's
I do
exactly
remember
the
that.
same thing.
But
as
I
from
think
the
they
start.
did that on purpose for the movie, so like you process
Maybe,
that.
but it's like I found that super interesting. It's like,
that is
wow,
really cool, yeah.
You know, it's like it's the same speech, but that persistence, right? It's like
He's very persistent.
He has no talents. He has nothing special about himself. He's just fucking ambitious, and he has
But he
one
just
thing on his mind that he tackles.
He just knows how to sell milkshake
That-
machines.
Honestly, that was a fucking good point. That's
That's crazy, though, huh?
good.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So we're gonna wrap it up on that note. Thank you very much, Auden. Sooner or later, you're gonna fly in your
Helicopter.
So was that supposed to be like the
Helicopter.
Stop.
Fortunate son.
Baby girl.
Wrap it up because I have a special message for everybody.
Fuck you,
Okay.
Alex.
So I hope you guys enjoy that show. I very much so enjoy being a part of it. It was very fun talking to all of you guys. It was very fun talking about fast food because I think that's something that everyone can relate to.
Yes.
Everyone has eaten fast food at
I
some
don't
point in
feel
their
so
life.
good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
You don't feel so good?
I'm gonna cry.
So, thank you guys for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us if you support the video. We've been
Let us
going on
know.
for quite a while, over an hour and a half now.
We want to keep going, guys. Let us know
Yeah,
if we should keep going.
Yeah, and if you have any
There's
suggestions,
just that one guy comments, "Fucking stop."
It's gonna be me. Stop the cap.
so remember, please subscribe, like the video, comment. That helps us with the algorithm. If you have any ideas for any shows that you would think that would be a good for this, just write down the movie, or if you have the idea as to what specific topic we can talk about, write down that as well. I think that would help me out, help us out.
Give us new topics.
It would give us new topics and stuff, and it's I already quite have it everything programmed until like mid-October ish. So I think generally speaking, we're pretty safe on that end. Alex, you said you had a point to make at the end.